A lifelong Democrat and a die-hard Republican end up trapped together in a boarded-up Philly store during riots. You know how this country's been split lately, friends unfollowing each other on social media, families arguing over dinner, streets dividing into sides. That's exactly where Maya and Jake find themselves. Two strangers whose worlds couldn't be more opposite. Maya's a 28-year-old social worker who's spent months organizing protests for racial justice, while Jake's a 32-year-old veteran running his family's hardware store, convinced his way of life is under attack when violence erupts outside on election night. They're both just trying to survive, Maya ducking from flying bottles, Jake locking up his shop to protect what's his, until a brick smashes through the window, forcing them to huddle in the back storage room together. At first, it's pure tension. Maya glares at Jake's "Make America Great Again" hat, and Jake sneers at her "Black Lives Matter" hoodie. They snap at each other over every little thing, how to block the door, whether to call 911, even who gets the last bottle of water. "You liberals are the reason this country's falling apart," Jake growls. And Maya fires back, "Your refusal to see inequality is what's tearing us apart." For hours, they sit in the dark, listening to sirens wail and crowds shout, their hatred for each other's beliefs keeping them sharp. But then the lights go out completely, and Jake has a panic attack, flashbacks to his time in Afghanistan. The sound of gunfire triggering memories he's tried to bury. Maya, who's trained in crisis intervention, doesn't think twice. She sets aside her anger and talks him down, her voice steady as she reminds him he's safe now. When Jake calms down, he's embarrassed but grateful. "I didn't think someone like you would care," he admits. Maya shrugs. "I don't care about your politics. I care about you not losing your mind in here." That moment cracks the wall between them. They start talking, really talking, about why they believe what they do. Maya tells Jake about her little brother, who was wrongfully arrested by police, and how she's fighting so he never has to go through that again. Jake shares how his dad died in a store robbery last year, and how he's just trying to hold on to the business that's been in his family for 50 years. They realize they're both scared, scared for their futures, scared for their loved ones, scared that the country they care about is breaking. As dawn breaks, the riots die down, but their perspective on each other doesn't. When they finally step outside, the streets are littered with debris. But they're no longer seeing enemies. Jake offers Maya a ride home, and she accepts. Before she gets out of the car, he says, "I still don't agree with your policies, but I see you now." Maya smiles. Same here. This story isn't about changing sides. It's about remembering we're all human, in a world that's so busy dividing us into us and them. It's easy to forget that the person across the aisle is fighting their own battles, too. Maya and Jake didn't become political allies, but they became something bigger. They became people who saw each other beyond the labels. And in these crazy times, that's the kind of connection that just might save us. Think about it. When was the last time you really listened to someone who disagrees with you, not to argue, not to convince them you're right, but just to understand? We're all navigating this messy, broken world together, and sometimes the most powerful thing we can do is put down our defenses and say, "I see you." Maya and Jake learned that the hard way, trapped in a dark room during a riot. But maybe we don't have to wait for a crisis to start seeing each other as neighbors, not enemies. After all, a country isn't just about policies or politics. It's about the people who call it home. And when we remember that, we just might start healing the cracks that divide us.